Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to my webinar, The Content Creation. I'm so glad you all have joined this webinar for content creation and you are eagerly waiting for this webinar. So I'm so glad. So in this webinar, this is a content creation webinar, and in this webinar, I will cover the topic, what is content creation and what is the importance of content creation, and why this content creation process is very important these days for any marketing strategy. So first I will tell about what is content creation. So content creation is a key aspect of any marketing strategy. So today, as we all know that it is a digital marketing, it is a digital world, digital India. So we are going to make our India digitally for each and everything. So for any marketing plan, content creation is a very important thing. So I am just going to tell you the importance of content creation in today's life. So today many pieces of content are created and published on website, blogs, social media, and these days people are so much active on every social medias. So in today's webinar topic, this content creation, I will let you know what is content creation and why do you need a content creation process. So let's go the content creation, what it is content creation in detail. So first is content creation is the strategical process. So to create anything digitally is digital content creation. So it's a process of creating anything. Either you can create it as a text or as a visual align. So today, if anything, generating content requires mindful planning and diligence. So in these today, content creation, you can say the content creation is the fuel for any marketing plan. Suppose you plan anything, suppose you want to launch your brand. If you have a brand and you want to launch your brand on a digital platform, in a public platform, so what you will do first, you must need a marketing strategy. And so for marketing strategy, you must need a good content for your brand so that people will get to know. Either you can do a video of your brand, you can just post a good picture on a social media and write a good caption about your brand. So whenever your audience will see your post or a video, they will get to know what exactly this brand is going to do and what is the benefit of joining this brand or for joining this platform. So this is the content creation. So moving to the next, why do you need a content creation? So before joining and before anything, we must think about what is the importance of this creation. Suppose if you want to launch anything digitally, so always it comes in your mind, what is the importance of this? So whenever the people think about the content creation, it always comes in the mind, why we need the content creation process. So I'm just giving you an example. If you want to climb a mountain, so if you think to climb a mountain, it's not like you instantly start climbing the mountain. Obviously, you plan the things, which is required to climb a mountain. Means then only you execute your plan. So it's a content creation is a gear for the mountain climbers, stumble, make error and go missing. So adopting a content creation process can make content production, publication and consistent. So give your marketing team a clear instruction. Suppose you want to launch anything, so always give a clear instruction to your marketing team. Assign a task for each and every team member. Maintain regular engagement. Suppose it's a long time plan, so you always have to maintain the regular engagement with your audience. If it's long term, then you must have to take a review from your audience on a weekly basis, and if it's short-term plan, you must have to a good communication with your team member. So for any content creation process, 4 key phases of content creation process is required. So the 4 main key phases of content creation is ideate, create, revise, and optimize. So what is ideate? So the first key phase of the content creation is the ideate. Ideate is all content start with an idea. Suppose you want to launch your brand, if you want to start your branding, so obviously thing plan comes in your mind, then only you want to execute that plan. So first, if plans comes in your mind, you start with an idea or plan, then you want to execute that plan. So what you will do is start with an idea, then execute it, but you don't need to you never directly execute your plan. So these all process takes a phase, means different phase. So four key phases of the content creation. So once you will done with your idea, your execution, then it comes to a present your message clearly to your audience. And for that purpose also, you must have to check all the technical basis, what is the, so you must have to optimize these things. So for successful content creation, first thing is the ideation, creation of assets, and then revision, and then content optimization is equal to successful content creation. So I will tell all the things in details. I will let you explain all the things, all the phases in detail. So first phase is ideate. So all content start with an idea. So what is ideate? This idea is the pure fuel for any content creation. Energy emerge as random throughout and slowly take shape as we work a bit of logical processing magic. So for ideate, for starts with an idea. First, what you need to do is identify your audience. So if you want to launch your brand, again, I am taking a good example of the branding of clothing branding. Suppose you want to launch your cloth brand. So first, what you need to do is first you need to identify your audience. So first you must know your target audience, to whom you want to target, to whom you want to approach for selling your clothing, for selling your particular product. So identify your audience. So do you know? So always this question comes in your mind, should be comes in your mind. Wait, what is your targeted audience? Identify your audience and then align strategy. What is the align strategy? Align strategy is a goal, creating a goal. So goal setting increase the level of production. So always keep a good goal in your mind if you want to increase the productivity of your marketing things. So what a goal should be? So a goal should be always specific, it should be achievable. So don't think of big goals which you can't achieve in your life. So goals should be achievable and goals should be address groups and individuals. So this is the aligned strategy. So the next thing comes is the, I'm sorry, create concept. So what is a create concept? So let's move forward in our ideation. So once the ideation process is done, align strategy is done. So the third thing which comes is the create concept. So when we move forward in our ideation process, from identifying our audience or align our strategy, we will find the concept we want to bring to life. So this is the create concept. And the next thing is obtain concept approval. Once you done with your idea, start thinking about idea. So you identify your customer, you set a goal, you create a concept. So after that, what you need to do is obtain concept approval. So whatever the thing, if you want to do a thing, you always take a approval from the government. So the obtain concept approval, whatever the concept you are thinking, always take a approval from the government. So obtain concept approval. And moving to the next things, what is the create? So second phase of this content creation is to create. So if you plan something, so nothing will happen without the execution. When you plan something and if you don't execute then plan, so there is no use of that particular idea. So nothing will happen without execution. This is the second phase of the content creation, is to create. So finding the best creativity to finance your branding into content can be a challenge. Obviously, if you want to execute your plan, it always a big challenge for anyone who want to launch anything digitally. So you have defined what you need. Now it's time to produce. So in the second thing, once you start with your idea, the second thing is to execute your plan. So in that also you need different steps to follow. So first is the secure talent. What is the secure talent? Now if I am telling you for execution of your plan, you must secure your talent. So one thing which comes in your mind, what is secure talent? So it's finding the best creatives to fitness your branding into content can be a challenge. So you have defined what you need. Now it's time to produce. So second thing is secure talent is time to produce. But from ideation to execution, you need talent creatives to bring your concept into a real life. So for that purpose, you need to prepare a logistics. So the second thing is prepare logistics. So really your content needs the talent, produce your assets. So process of assigning content. So once you are done with your secure your talent, so you must have to assign these work for your team. So this is prepare a logistic. So you must prepare your logistic if you want to execute your idea in a good way. So third part of this create is execute production. So after sharing your assignment, after sharing your ideas with the people who will be creating the content, suppose if you assign this work to a content creator, so after sharing assignment with your content creator, let the creativity fly. You always have to think good about your execution part. So, but now without ample check-ins or ample guidance, you can't execute your plan in a good way. So for long-term project, a weekly meeting assess whether or not the project is moving forward or as a plan. Means you always have to check with your team on a regular basis. Either your project are running in a good way, content creation process is going in a good way or not. If it's a long-term plan or if it's a short-term plan, you always have to communicate with your team members. So the next part of this create is the delivery draft content. So what is delivery draft content? One thing which you communicate, what is this? So after execute the production, now it's time to show the work off to the team. So you must have to show, you must have to check all your team member works. So delivering the content also follows a system. So if you want to deliver something, it always follow a system. So it should be uploaded to a cloud-based platform so that everyone can see whatever the work is going to is done by a particular team member. Suppose you assign a task of a team member and there are many members in a team, so you must have to upload the work of your team on a cloud platform so anyone can access that sheet or that work and get to know what the work all team members is doing. So you always deliver draft content. And the third phase, which is 1 minute. Third phase is it's revise, means present your message clearly. So phase 3 of the content creation is to revise. So once the content creation is done, you must have to hand this content creation to the editor team so that they can edit or produce the things. So the third also in this revise phase, there are 4 different categories which you must have to follow if you want to uh, do a good work by your editor team. So review draft content. Once the content once the content creator create your content, so what you need to do is you have to assign this work to your editor team or the producer team. So reviews draft content. So once the editor work is done, once the content creator work is done, what editor will do? Editor will review the assignment, breathe thoroughly and make adjustment to bring the draft into alignment with what exactly needed. Suppose content creator has done some mistakes. So what editor will do? Editor will check each and everything very carefully. If it's come to a text part, text content creation, so you must have to check all the grammatical things, if it's a grammatical error. And if it's come to a video content creation, then what editor team will do? Editor team will do is, if this video is running smoothly on each desktop or Android devices, smartphone, on a TV screen. So this editor team will check, revise these all things. So revise draft content. And the second thing is comes is the request revision. So now the content goes back into the hand of the person or team who created it. So once the revised content has done, and if it's some error come in the content creation, so what is the next thing is to request for a revision. So again, the editor team will assign this, hand over this work to the content creator team. So who has done that content creation work. So during this step, during the request revision step, share feedback not only from the editor or producer who reviewed the first draft of the content, but also the marketing team and any other direct stockholder. So the third thing is the complete creativity. So after the request revision has done, the third thing is the complete creativity. So what is this complete creativity? Once you are, so always check at this point, competitive creative point, always check at this point what editor team is done. If editor team design update from the other team needs to be made, it should be always a polished thing. It should be always a good thing. So it's a complete creative thing. So after that complete creative, is the final step is often final creative approval. So this is it. Once the content creation is done, editor team has done its editing part. So this is it. So your final check will, so for final creative approval include final editorial review. So final necessary legal reviews and all necessary organizational reviews. So in this part, it should be always an editor review and always an organizational review. So for next phase, fourth phase is the optimize. So cover your technical issue. Once your idea is done, start idea, creative, once you ideate the thing, once you create the things, when you revise the thing, so last thing is to optimize. So in optimize, you have to cover all the technical bases. So first is the review. So in the content, in the optimize phase, in the optimize phase, this is the moment when the transition from the content creation to content distribution. Before putting the content, before you want to show your content to the world, it needs to be prepared in a very good way. So it should be optimized. So first thing is the review SEO. So if you done with your content creation and editor team has done its editing things, so what is this? So make sure you want you always original content rise to the top. But if you want to do an extra nurse in your content creation, you must have to do the SEO. So for extra nurse, if you want your content to be found everywhere, so polish the search engine optimization of your content by working through enter all the relevant metadata. So you always have to check your URL. You always have to use a good keywords, trending keywords. If you are posting your post in Instagram, so you always use a proper hashtag. So people will find your content easily, find about your product easily. So it should be always, you must have to do the SEO if you have a long-term plan. So SEO is a very important, and for the content creation also, headings, if you, it's a main heading, subheading, it should be clearly visible. So, and after that, after once done with the review SEO, the second thing is review experience. So prepare the content for mobile responsive desktop responsive, and the various platform compatibility. So suppose if you create a content and this is only responsive on your smartphone, not responsive on a desktop, so it's not a good strategic marketing strategy. So review experience is to prepare the content for mobile responsive and the desktop responsive and the different platform compatibility. So review it on a various devices, on a various platform, so that it performs the way you intend. And if you discover issues, you might have to go back to the revision phase and fix them. If you find any error in this review experience, so you must have to first fix your issues, and then only you have to publish your content. So the third thing is facilitate distribution. Facilitate distribution. So this is the last step in ensuring your concept is prepared for all of its intended so destinations and can easily be shared by your audience. So enable social sharing function or on blog posts on all social media you are using. So if you are sharing your content on your website, so you always have to use the social share plugin, so you can instantly share your content on all the social media platform which you are using. So I just want to summarize this all the content creation process. So for any content creation, if you are going to launch your brand, so you must have to follow all the four phases very neatly and very in a very proper way. So you must have to first edit the things, you must have to do a proper planning, a proper idea. So and after that you must have to create a good content for your idea, so that people will get to know after reading or after seeing your content. And it should be a revised, present a clear message of your idea. You always have to write a very clear message of your idea, and then you must have to optimize all the technical issues if it's there in your content. So you must have to follow all these four phases if you want to create a good content for your brand and for your marketing strategy. So never skip a single step in your content creation. So if you will follow all these four steps in a good way in your content creation process, then I am sure that your marketing will boom, boom, boom. So yes, that's all for today's webinar. I hope you all have enjoyed today's webinar. So thank you so much for joining this webinar. And if you want to go through with this webinar topic again, so what I will do is I will upload this webinar topic webinar on my YouTube channel, Leave with A for A. So you people can go and check the recording of this webinar on my YouTube also. So thank you so much guys for joining this webinar. Have a great day. Thank you.